Hello everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Jessica and I'm a mom of 3 little boys. My oldest is gonna be almost 5, the second is 2, and the youngest is 1. And I wanted to share my experience about keto, the keto diet, and breastfeeding at the same time. And just like my journey and how it went, and also just postpartum bodies in general. Let me start from the beginning, this little backstory. I'm sitting in the car because it's quiet and the best place for me to film a video right now. Starting off with my firstborn, I delivered him. He was 9 pounds 1 ounce, so I had a big baby. Obviously the pregnancy and everything, my body changed, but in between that baby and the next one, well, I had the miscarriage in between, but after the miscarriage I had some time to kind of regain my body. I did keto after my first, but I was already done breastfeeding him, so I have done keto multiple times before I did keto with breastfeeding. So like I knew what it was, I knew how to do it. So after my firstborn, I did get back to my pre-pregnancy weight when he was about like over a year, and then I got pregnant again. I also had a somewhat bigger baby. He was 8 pounds. I got pregnant again when my second baby was 7 or 8 months. So it was just like pregnancy, birth, postpartums, back to back. And at this point, this was my third kid, I was ready to have my body back, I guess. So once I delivered him, I really wanted to get back into shape, to look good for my husband, and to feel more like myself, just to regain that strength, just have my body back to normal, or to this new normal after having my babies. So that's where I thought, if I can do keto and eat enough keto foods, that I would be able to sustain my milk supply. And because I'm eating very fatty foods, bacon, eggs, avocado, salads, like I was eating a lot of fatty foods, and trying to eat more keto foods, that my milk would also be nice fatty milk. That was my logical outcome. That is what I anticipated happening. I did some research, but there was very little research out there about keto and breastfeeding, so I just went for it. I thought that if I see a dip in my milk supply, that I would stop it and then return back to normal, because I obviously did not want anything bad to happen to my baby. So I decided to try it anyway and see if this is gonna work for us. When little William was 2 months old, that's when I started keto and on my breastfeeding journey. And so he had his 2-month appointment. He was born 8 pounds 11 ounces, so he was a pretty big, good-sized baby, and he was growing well up until that 2-month mark. The next appointment, I think, was at 4 months. I don't know. I don't remember if I had one in between there, but I didn't really see a change in him. I just eventually noticed that he kind of stopped growing. And so when I went to his 4-month appointment, he was super, super small. He was very small. My other babies were really fat. They were really nice, chubby babies. And this one, I just thought maybe he's just a different body type. Maybe he's just on the smaller side. That's just normal for him. That's just his body construction. That's what I thought. But when we went to that 4-month mark appointment, he was extremely slow. He was digressing in his development and in his weight, in his height. He just completely stopped growing. And I had so much mom guilt over this, because this is something that I did to him, and I did because of my own selfish reasons, right? This was for my body to change, not for his body to change. And even though I was losing some weight, it was definitely not worth having my baby lose his weight when he should be developing. This is the fastest time that he develops. So obviously I stopped right there as I've noticed, him changing. I stopped right after that appointment, but it did not stop there. It continued. He took about a year to recover from that. He was barely gaining any weight. He was still active. He's always been very active, but he was just not growing for a long time after that. And then eventually around 7-8 months, I lost my milk supply completely, and he just didn't have any interest in breastfeeding anymore after that point. The whole breastfeeding journey was pretty hard in general. Throughout his first year of life, especially after that 4-month mark, it was very sad to see him like just look so weak and thin and small, a lot smaller than like the average baby. If I were to set him next to another baby his age, he just looked twice smaller. He was extremely small. I'm very thankful to God that his brain kept developing, and right now he is just a nice chunky boy, and he's a 1.5 years now, so he has recovered from my keto breastfeeding him, you know, while I was on keto. It did take a lot longer than I had anticipated at that time when I, you know, stopped. I thought he would just bounce back to it, and he didn't. And then I'm like, okay, well, once he starts eating solids, then he'll bounce back. No, he didn't. So it did take his system a lot longer to get into the normal stage. Right now, he's finally in the 70-80 percentile, and I'm very thankful to hear that. That's how all my kids were. They were super, super big. They were usually like up in the 90s, 100 percentile. So thank God he is back higher, back where he needs to be. But my fellow mother, I assume that you're researching this because you also want to lose some weight. You also feel a little insecure about your body because it has changed and you have grown a beautiful human inside of you. And I just want you to know that I'm proud of you, and this is such a beautiful thing. It's such an incredible thing that God did through you, through your body, and that he's using you now as a breastfeeding source, as the food source to feed your baby. It is hard to accept your new body. It is hard to accept those stretch marks and the flimsy skin and the extra weight that you might have put on through your pregnancy. But it is also such a beautiful thing, and I hope that your support system will be supportive about that. Like if you have a husband, that he would be supportive of your new body, of your changing body, and that you would be able to accept it yourself. And that's something that God really showed me through this journey, that it's okay. It's okay for me to have these extra pounds. It's okay for now, because I was breastfeeding my baby. I was his nutrition source. God makes your breast milk so perfect, and they need to have all the components to make it be the best source for your baby. And don't rush that process, and the weight will come off. Give yourself that time to heal. Give your body that rest. Give your baby what he or she needs. So there's this super encouraging psalm that I read to myself, and it's incredible. So I want to read it to you right now. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast to me the sum of them. We are God's creation. Our bodies, the little humans that he made inside of us, he woven us, he knit us together in our mom's wombs. He knit together our little babies. This is something that he says is wonderful and beautiful, this pregnancy, the postpartum body. And I want you to know that you are beautiful and that you're perfect in your own way, and God made us. This is his work of art. We are his work of art. He has made us. We are all different, and it's beautiful. So may God bless you. I hope that this is encouraging to you. I would definitely wait. I don't recommend keto and breastfeeding at all. I hope that God will bless you on your postpartum journey and with breastfeeding and everything, and for you to be able to lose the weight if you want to lose the weight another time after your postpartum time, after your breastfeeding experience, you know, when you were able to later, not now. May God bless you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.